Hey traders, Alex Ong here and welcome to this week's Forex Focus, a show where we look ahead at the opportunities that could be setting up for the FX markets in the week ahead. And in today's show, we've got a very nice opportunity that we're looking at that's perhaps a little different to some of the ones that we've looked at in the recent weeks, but it looks to be a great trade altogether. So without further ado, let's jump over to the charts and take a look at what could be presenting itself in this week's FX markets. So for this week's trade, we're going to be looking at one in the USDCAD. Now I want to start off by showing you the setup and putting context around the trade before we look at the actual sort of entry that we're looking at itself. So to put the context around the trade, we can see that the USDCAD has been rallying for a long time now. You can see this on the daily chart. And in fact, if we go out to a weekly chart, you can probably see it even better there. So if we go back to here, so if we're back in 2011, the markets made a low, then sort of broke out of that low in 2013. So going into 2014, the market broke out above that level, and you can see it's been rallying ever since. So then what happened was, going back to the beginning of this year, you can see that the USDCAD literally just fell off a cliff. So it dropped from 1.4675 down to 1.2469, and then since then, if we look at it on the daily chart, we can see that we've got a bit of a resumption of this trend over here. So we've got this massive uptrend there, and then we've got that pullback, and then if we look in on the daily charts, we can see that we've now got the markets making higher highs and higher lows on the daily chart constantly. And the opportunity that we're looking at is for the market to react to this trend line here. So we've got two trend lines in. One, we've got this longer term trend line, which is sort of like our backup position. So if the market does break through this trend line here, we'll be looking for a bounce on this lower trend line over here. However, at the moment, what we're looking at is we're expecting the market to come down to this trend line in and around this area here. And let me just move that there. Oops, 1 second. Get rid of that and move this up to this previous level of resistance, which could now be acting as support. And we're not going to take this on the daily chart. We're going to look to take it on the 1 hour chart. Or if you're a little bit more conservative, you could look for the reaction on the 4 hour chart. But on the 1 hour chart, this is ultimately the opportunity that we're looking at. We've shown you the trend line on the daily chart. We've shown you the level. And what I want you to pay attention to here is the way that we've got a confluence of levels. So we've got that previous level of resistance, which is becoming support. We've then also got this trend line coming up over here. They're coming in at the same place. We've got an uptrend on our hands, and then we've also got the market is pulling back very nicely to this level. So we've got a massive uptrend. We've had a bit of a correction this year. Then it looks like the market has started to continue that uptrend, and now what we've got is a sort of like a mini bounce on the 1 hour chart from this previous level of resistance, which could become support and act as the catalyst to basically, if we go back to the daily charts, act as the catalyst for the market to bounce from here and really push on up towards these sorts of levels up around these highs over here. So the setup that we're looking at, as I go back to the 1 hour chart, and apologies for jumping around here, but I really kind of want to draw home and show you what it is that we're looking at in terms of the entries. So we'd want to see the market come down to this level and bounce and give us sort of like what I call a 1, 2, 3 reversal pattern. And what that ultimately is the market comes down to this area here. Okay, we'll bounce from this area. We'll then the market will come up here and make an attempt to go to break out. It won't break out immediately. It will then come a little bit further down here. And what will happen is it will fail to break out or break below the low that it printed previously. Okay. And then finally, the market then breaks out above that area there. So breaking above this level over here. All right. That we've got in there. So it breaks above this level here. So the market will come in, it will make a low, it will come up, it will make a high, it will come down, make a low, which is higher than the previous low. And then what we're waiting for is this previous high here that it prints, wherever that be. And I'm just doing this for illustration purposes. It could be up here, it could be a little bit lower down. But ultimately, we're waiting for the market to then break that high, break out to the upside, and that will be our signal to get involved in the trade. Okay? So That wraps it up for this week's Forex Focus. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good value in it, as always. The important thing really that I want to get across in this week's show is the significance of context around your trade. So really to understand sort of the direction of the longer term trend. It's not to say you always have to trade with the longer term trend. It's just understanding what the market is telling you, understanding which direction the market is moving at the time that you're taking a trade. So if it's against the trend, that's fine too, but you just have to have the necessary context around your trading. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, because then you can obviously get all of the updates as and when we release them. You don't have to sort of go there search, you'll just get a little notification in YouTube there. Okay, so thank you very much, and until next week, have a really, really great week's trading, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care now.